Welcome to the Grow Through Torah moment for Parshat Teitze, which means when you go out, and tells us all these ideas about when we go out into the world, how should we be acting. So really appropriate for the Grow Through Torah moment. And the Torah tells us that when you go out into the world, you shall not see the donkey of your brother or his ox falling on the road and hide yourself from them. You shall surely stand up with him. In other words, if you're walking down the street and you see that your friend's donkey is struggling under its weight, what do you have to do? You have to go and help them. What does the Torah tell us? It tells us don't just go help your friend, it says help them. Meaning the Torah is also concerned for the animal. But the end of that verse also tells us, what does it say? It says, go and lift up the donkey together with him, together with your friend. It's not just you who would be helping to lift up the donkey, but it's the two of you doing it together. It's a partnership that's being built. There's a really similar verse, which is in Parshat Mishpatim, in which it says, if you see the donkey of someone you hate crouching under its burden, would you refrain from helping him? You shall help him repeatedly with him. And so in that verse, what the Torah is telling us is if you see someone that you hate, right, that you hate in your heart, although the Torah tells us that we're not allowed to hate someone in our hearts, the Torah knows that in reality, sometimes that is the way we feel towards other people. And the Torah is trying to give us clear and easy ways to change that hate in our hearts, to eradicate that hate in our hearts. So what does it tell us? It tells us if you see the person that you hate, and it's right, and he's with his donkey, and the donkey is suffering under the weight of its load, you have to go and you have to help this person that you hate. But again, just like in the case of the person that you like, in the case of your friend, it doesn't say just go and do it on your own, but rather it says to go and do it with him. Right? You will become a partner with the person who you feel hate towards. And this is really a practical application of the idea that it says in Pirkei Avot that Aaron, the Kohen, Moses' brother Aaron, it says that he was a man who rodef shalom, that he would pursue peace. That's what it means to pursue peace. It's in moments where your natural inclination is not to help the person. Instead, what does the Torah say? You have to specifically go and help that person. And Jewish law is that if you see your friend and you see your enemy and both of them are in the same situation where they're struggling with the same thing, the Torah tells us you are obliged to first help the person who you feel hate towards, because that will ultimately alleviate that sense of hate in your heart, especially this time before the Yamim Noraim, before the high holy days. It's a time that we have to find practical ways to do acts of love and kindness for those who we love as well as for those who we don't love yet. Have a wonderful Shabbat. Shabbat Shalom.